Hi, I'm Bob with Wolfe Ridge. It's been about a month since we released the conveyor option for our compact commercial line of log splitters. Standing right in front of me is the 28C compact commercial with the optional conveyor package, which gives us the conveyor and this hydraulic oil cooler. And I'm going to go over all the features and benefits and how this thing is put together for you guys right now. So there's been a question about how this thing gets towed down the road, and I intentionally left this back here set up in transport mode. So you can see that we've got our drawbar underneath here, and this drawbar now has 2 additional jacks on it in comparison with a standard 28C or 35C, and we have our original jack right there. So when I brought this out here, I actually used the 4-wheeler, but it was pretty much all that this thing could do to get this out here. So that's something to keep in mind. This outfeed conveyor adds a lot of tongue weight to the machine. Now, with an SUV or a pickup truck or anything like that, it's not going to be an issue, but a 4-wheeler like that is not meant to have as much tongue weight. Nevertheless, when I got it back here, I dropped that leg to get the drawbar to lift off of the tongue of the ATV, and this is what we're left with. So you can see the conveyor is up in the transport position, and you can see the drawbar down here is still completely removable, and it has 2 positions. So right now we are in transport mode. We can slide this in one more section here. There's another pinhole right there, and then we can bring the jacks closer to the splitter. I'm going to do that here in a minute, but I want to finish walking around this thing to show you guys the rest of transport mode here. So we've got the conveyor up, we've got strap holes, and I don't have the straps. This thing just came out of assembly, but basically for transport mode, we put a strap from here up to here. We do that on both sides of the conveyor, and that just helps us give a little bit extra stability and peace of mind. We've got the log lift in the up position. We have got the extra drop leg in the back. You can see that is in the up position right now, kind of hiding down there, but right there. And then, as always, if you're in transport or storage mode, make sure you turn the gas valve off on your engine. So first things first, I am going to move this drawbar in, and this is just like it is on our regular compact commercials. We'll take that out and we'll slide this whole apparatus in until the pin lines up again. Now you could leave these out and put the drop legs down out there further. Depends on your operation, but for right here, I'm going to put these in this spot. And for transport too, if you wanted, you can pull these pins and you can take these jacks completely off. Now that we have that done, I'm going to try to drop this I'm going to try to flip this back drop leg, and I may have to adjust my jack in the front. Yep, so I have to drop the front of the splitter down a little bit. Loosen that jack a little bit. Just so we have enough room here to put this in. Just like that. Put the pin through there. Now what I want to do is lift this jack a little bit here, and we basically kind of want to force the back end of the splitter to touch the ground a little bit. But we don't want to go too high up front here because then we're going to lift the wheels off the ground. So we're going to have 4 points of the splitter touching the ground already there. And since we've got that jack down, now we're going to put these down just so they touch the ground. We'll put tension on this one. Then I'll take my log lift, take the pin out down here, slide that out, put this into work mode, and put the pin back. As always, before starting, I recommend to make sure that all your valves are in neutral so we can test that function. Make sure they're all in neutral. So we'll come up to the engine, make sure the gas is on. See the fuel pump pointing that way, so we'll slide that to on. We've got our choke, throttle, go about midway, we'll give it a crank. Take the choke off. And right down here you can see we've got the conveyor controls. So I'm going to lower the conveyor down into the operational position. So now we'll put this drop leg down here It's just for a little bit of added safety. And we'll go to the closest pinhole. Actually, it looks like we got one that's pretty close to lining up right away. Pick it up, lower it a little bit, snap that in place, and then we'll just snap this back here. That's going to limit the leg from going that way more. And what I'll do is I'll relieve a little bit of the pressure that's on the conveyor right now so that the weight is setting on the ground. So in total, about 13 minutes to get this thing from transport mode into complete setup mode. And that includes me moving the camera around a bunch of times and getting a bunch of different angles and clips for you guys. So I think that's pretty reasonable. Now you can split your wood and have a conveyor set up on site if you're mobile processing, or even if you just had this thing in storage in the shed and got it back out for the day. Figure 10 to 15 minutes to get it set up and ready to go. Now that we're set up, I want to talk about the rest of the features and specifications of this machine. So this is basically our standard compact commercial 28C. The things that change when you get this conveyor package would be this sorting table here. That's this. You can see that that's got kind of a funnel design on it now. And then of course the powered outfeed conveyor. And then down below here we have our valves for raising and lowering the conveyor and for going forward and reverse. Now it's really nice to have that reverse just in case you do get something on the underside of this conveyor. As with our other conveyors, this is enclosed on the underside here, so you got that extra added element of safety if somebody's going to walk underneath this. Of course, we don't recommend to walk underneath the conveyor, but you know, things happen, and the less risk of a chain grabbing you or someone else, the better. Here, I'll give you a close-up of those conveyor control valves. Now, the nice thing is they're tucked under this sorting table, so when you're in the operator's position here, they're not in the way, and even if you're standing directly in front of this thing, those valves are not hitting you. Now this conveyor does not have a pivot, so it goes up and down, that's it. There is no left and right. We don't have the ability to add a pivot box to this thing because of how close we are to the ground already. So that's just something to keep in mind. So we have a Honda GX390 engine with electric start on it. It's 13 horsepower. We have a 22 gallon per minute hydraulic pump on it. We have Prince auto cycle valves. We have Prince log lift valve, and we have hydraulic wedge height adjustment. This comes standard with the 4-way wedge. The compact commercials come standard with the Magnum big bore cylinder with fast cycle times, and we've got the tall push block with 12 bolts, and we are still using the bronze self-lube slides. So we don't have to put any grease on the beam, and we just keep your work area a little bit cleaner. Now, the hydraulic oil cooler is typically an option on the compact commercials. You can add this cooler to compact commercial or the HO, standard on the SHOs. But when we put the hydraulic conveyor package on the 28C or the 35C, it will automatically get the hydraulic oil cooler. So you're getting that as part of the package deal too. These hydraulic oil coolers have a thermostat on them that turns on at a set temperature. So if they're plugged in, you don't have to worry about it. It'll kick on when it needs to. We still have the large hydraulic reservoir made in-house, and we are using a canister style hydraulic oil filter in that tank. A while back, I also did a video explaining the differences between the 28C compact commercial and the Pro 28. And the decals were kind of confusing between machines. So the 28 Pro said 28 Pro on it, but the compact commercial said Pro 28C. So these decals got changed up a little bit for the compact commercial. Now they say 28C Magnum. And I don't know if you can really see it. There it is back there. Nothing has changed with the machine. It's just that decal, and it's to help make the differentiation a little bit easier between the 28 Pro and the 28C compact commercial. I'm going to start this machine up now and give you guys kind of a dry run. I'll go through all the motions. I won't be splitting wood with this one today because it is a dealer stock unit and they may have it sold. This one is already going out the door tomorrow. I had a little bit of time after 5 p.m. tonight to get this video done for you guys, so I wanted to show you guys this thing a little bit more up close and personal. So I'm going to start it up and go through the motions here. Here's something I want to point out. Right, I'm about 6 foot tall, and we probably got the exit height on this probably about 6.5 feet right now. You want to go about 45 degrees for an angle. You don't really want to try and climb higher than that. But you can go a lot lower than that if you want. So that's something to keep in mind. If you needed to go into a lower spot, you could. Otherwise, this is really a great size for loading into IBC totes or going into a dump trailer. Again, it does not pivot, so you'll have to pull your dump trailer forward or back it up depending on how you've got it set up. So it's a little disappointing that I didn't get the chance to run wood through this one, but I can tell you that we will have this same machine model at the Boonville show in New York. So if you want to see one in action and you're going to be in that area, come see us at that show. For sure we will have one there to show and maybe an extra one to sell too. I know we've got one going there that's already sold, and I'm not sure how much wood that customer's going to let me put through it, but hopefully let me put some through it. You can find all the information about any of the events that we're going to be working at on the events tab at our website. One last thing I want to point out is that this conveyor package is not going to be retrofit compatible because there is a slight change to the frame. So if you've already got a 28C or a 35C, it doesn't make sense to try to add this package to it, because in addition to having that conveyor, you would have to change the sorting table. As I said, the frame's a little bit different. The pump set's going to be different. You're going to have to add the hydraulic oil cooler and the hoses. And after all that's done, you'd be better off probably just trying to sell your current compact commercial, order one with the conveyor, or take a look at our standalone conveyors as well. We've got them in 16 foot, 24, 32, and 40 foot. If you'd like pricing or any more information on any of the products that we offer, please check out our website, www.wolferidgemfg.com. Give us a call or send us an email. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you as always for the support. Make sure you check out that events tab on our website. Come see us at one of the next ones and make some firewood with us. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on what's next at Wolfe Ridge.